FairFight sued us back in December of 2020 when we helped citizens of Georgia file challenges, to use a different word, record inquiries with their counties because there were so many ineligible or what appeared to be ineligible voter records because the voter rolls had not been cleaned or maintained in about 2 years. This is because, as we understand it now, for two reasons. Number one, because FairFight had also sued the state, and so they were sort of hanging back and not wanting to do too much while they were in litigation. But the bigger reason is their standard process. Georgia's standard process, and every state has a standard. Georgia's standard process is that they only clean the rolls, maintain the rolls at scale. So that means they do a statewide review once or maybe multiple times, but everything within the first 6 months of every odd year. So what that means is in Georgia now, as we are speaking this evening, their rolls at scale at state have been reviewed. And so anything else that happens is going to happen at the county level, and arguably only if citizens get involved. Now, if that weren't the case, if they were reviewing the rolls and doing updates right up until the rolls close 90 days out, well, that would be, that'd be a different matter. But that's not where we are. Where we are is that they're cleaned about, every 2 years as a standard, and it's not okay. So, it was not well known to us before the general election that this was the case, but it was very well known to us by the time the general had occurred and between the general and the runoff of January 5th, 2021. And so we did a review, again, at scale, and the number of potentially ineligible records was significant, 364,000, I believe, some odd records that needed to be looked at. And we felt like we couldn't eliminate any. We had to keep in all the inactives. We had to keep in everything that would make it, we thought, easier for the counties to take a look and have the benefit of a complete data set. In any event, FairFight sued us. And that case has gone on now since December of 2020, leading all the way to this bench trial starting in October and went into November of this year, a few weeks ago. And we didn't get a jury trial, but the bench trial, our judge is now in this process of making this decision. Let me explain to you what the stakes are and why it's so important that we stay focused on this, because special interest groups have effectively shut down states from doing what they need to do to maintain the voter rolls. I've talked about this ad nauseum on this program, I know, but let me speak to it one more time. Inaccurate voter rolls are the gateway to problems in elections. It is the proverbial bad data in, bad data out. The rolls need to be as accurate as possible. Now, because life happens and things move quickly, they won't be 100% accurate, but they can be doggone close within a few percentage points because the data exists in real time to make these conclusions, to recognize identity, residency, and citizenship. Private industry does this all day, every day. There's no reason, if we truly believe that elections are the foundation of a representative republic, then we need to get it right. But states have been backed into a corner, almost scared to, see their own shadow with respect to cleaning the rolls, because they know they're going to get sued, they're going to get called names, and so it's just kind of go along to get along. And for those of us, and there are many on this call that are very familiar with the voter rolls in your home states, in your home counties, they are unnecessarily and unacceptably inaccurate. That's a problem. What this case is asking the court to decide is, do citizens have the First Amendment right of petition? That's how serious this is. If the court says, no, citizens can't petition, and that's effectively what these inquiries were, is a petition of the government. Please, take a look. I'd much rather not have to do this. I'd much rather, I'm certain that the volunteers that were participating much rather not have to do it, but somebody's got to say something. It's not okay for the rolls to not be accurate. That is the beginning point. There are many other problems further downstream in the process, but that's the beginning point. And so that's what's at risk here. And that's why I would ask you to please keep it in prayer and understand that no matter what happens in this court, well, then we have it will go to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals and then to the Supreme Court. But it is imperative that we protect this right to ask questions of our government. And in this swim lane, it's about the accuracy of the voter rolls. If the states were cleaning the rolls using current technology, making the process transparent, and not forever playing hide the ball with this data, then citizens may have a little more confidence. But that's not what's happening. And so therefore, it is incredibly important that we stay aligned on this case and continue to not only pray it up, but be ready on either side of the decision. I'll say it one last time and I'll move on. If the states were cleaning up the rolls, if the data was accurate, then let's move on. Plenty of other things to discuss. But you can't move on until that's done, and it's not being done, as has been evidenced time and time and time again. So that's where we are with the trial. We should hear in a month-ish. I don't really know, but soon as we know, you'll know. Also,